You transferred to Indiana, win the Heisman, lead the team to an undefeated season, and now a chance to win a title in your hometown. First of all, how do you put into words how special this run has been? And also, what's your message to the next generation, the youngsters out there who are chasing their dreams?
Yeah, I would say that it's been such a special journey. Can't thank God enough. I can't thank my teammates enough. It's been such a great year, not only on the field, but also off the field with those guys and in the meeting rooms. It's special is the word to describe it. And then also, my message to the youngsters, I briefed it in my Heisman speech, but I would say that it's no matter what star recruit you are, if you're too big, too little, you're not high ranked enough, you could do it. You could do it. You got to put the work in. And as a kid, I always heard these messages, and I'm like, okay, does that really mean that? A little bit of self-doubt. But now having lived that experience and lived that journey, it really has come full circle to me, and I always want to share the same message to those youngsters.
Well, I'm very pleased in the effort that our offensive line gave, our running backs, our receivers, and our tight ends. I think they all played fantastic. However, although the score was, amazing, we put up a ton of yards, there's still some opportunities that, myself, that I left on the table. Could have had one of LeBron Bond there deep late, and a couple others that were, just as close. But, just as close as what we need to, take that standard to the next level in order to keep this momentum rolling, in order to have these big games against Big Ten opponents and further.
You feel you're getting closer to that?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I'm getting closer. I think the first game, to be quite honest, especially against ODU, a little too excited. Wanted, to have, a perfect debut and show Hoosiers fans, what I had. And however, I just had to go back to the fundamentals. And like Coach Signetti always preaches, one play at a time, 0-0. So I think whenever anybody does that process in our offense, you see the success we have.
Team, your first road test of the year. Tough place to play, and how nice is it being 4-0?
It's great being 4-0, but honestly, right now, I feel like we're 0-0 because we have Iowa next week. They have a great team. I believe they beat Rutgers last night. I try not to watch, I love watching football. But before the game, I try to lock in more on, the game we're playing. But they had a great game. I believe they scored 38 points or something like that. My friend Mark Gronowski is actually the quarterback. So we've actually, we were at the Manning Pass Academy together, and he's a great guy. I really, really like him and really happy for his success last game. And so I'm really excited to play Iowa. I heard they have a fantastic road environment. So, that's another challenge for us.
Indiana did this a lot to teams last year. I'm sure you saw it when you were studying them. What's it like to be a part of that type of dominance that was pretty regular out around here last year?
Yeah, so my whole thing is to never be complacent. Last year, although it was not at Indiana, lost a lot of games by my brothers, saw the blue teams out. Last year I was in a similar predicament. We were on College Game Day, Cal versus Miami. And I believe it was 27 at halftime or 37. I don't know the score, but it was a large lead. And Miami ended up coming back and winning. So that kind of taught us Cal, who I'm really happy that they're I believe they're 3-0 or 4-0 right now. I don't know how the game went today, but I'm really happy for them. But it really taught me never to be complacent. We thought I was fantastic. I was so happy. We're like, oh, we're up on Miami. Let's go. It's my hometown team. So it taught me in the locker room, hey, everyone had the same message. Hey, we're gonna stay locked in, and we gotta really step on their throats and finish this game.
You mentioned there's still a lot of game left, but you did have the student section chanting Heisman Mendoza. What did that mean to you hearing that? Did you hear that at all?
Yeah, I did hear on the field, and first of all, I want to give a shout out to the student section sticking through the rain and the towel waving, the shirtless towel waving. I want to give a shout out to them because that was fantastic to see them. All the players in the sideline were hyped about it. It got myself juiced, got the offense juiced, got the team juiced. So just quick shout out to the student section for waving the towels in the rain. What a great sight to see. And we do have a lot of season left, and right now I'm just focused on UCLA. We have so many great players on our team, and I think that we play even better when we play as one. So I'm just trying to, whatever spotlight that I might get from the offensive success, I'm just trying to dish it out to all my teammates because they really deserve it, and they're the unsung heroes.
Beyond this game, second half dominance has been a trend for this team this season. Yeah. What do you attribute that to?
I would attribute it to the brotherhood. I think our superpowers in offense is that we play for each other. We don't play for stats. We don't play for, the reason we play is to play together and to win. There's no other ulterior motive that we have as an offense. So when you have that, our offense is always able to come together and get gritty and rely on each other in critical moments, and we're always able to thrive in those moments.
Fernando, anything more on that play?
Yeah, although I got hit, I was never going to stay down, and that's one thing I know. One thing, and I say it, and I know it could be a little interpreted as a little cringy sometimes, but I will die for my brothers in that field. So no matter whether it's a gut punch, whether it's a head punch, whatever it is, I'm always going to get back up. And I was
I knew there's 100% confidence that I was going to play that game, play the rest of the game, as we've worked so hard to get to this point that no hit, no knockout hit, knockout punch could take me out of that game because, one thing about the Indiana Hoosiers football team is whenever they hit, we hit back harder.
Fernando, just talk about the opportunity that you have on Saturday night.
I'm so blessed and honored to be in this position. It is a surreal feeling. There was a lot of speculation throughout the season, and always like, wow, that'd be so cool. But I know that going to this ceremony means so much for everybody here in Bloomington. It means so much for my family. It means so much to the team, especially having the opportunity to hopefully bring home the first Heisman in Indiana history. It means so much to so many people. So I think it's such a great kind of pat on the back for everybody over here in the city of Bloomington with all their support that they've given myself.
Yeah, Fernando, you mentioned this was all kind of theoretical until last night. What was your process to sort of watch? Did you watch the countdown show? How did you kind of the night unfold for you? And like, how many text calls did you get? Can you kind of take us through Monday night and what it was like when you were named finalist?
Yeah, for sure. I would say it all started when our team had a fantastic performance against Illinois. It was a dominant performance on defense, dominant performance by the offensive line, and just dominant coaching performance as well. And after that, some of my friends sent it to me like, oh, you're in the Heisman race. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Maybe I can show my kids, hey, I was in the Heisman race. And fast forward to yesterday, my friends and I were all watching Monday Night Countdown. Shout out Greg for letting me know that it'd be announced there. And we were watching the show, and it ended up being announced, and it was such a great moment and great feeling. And I got a lot of texts. However, it did not amount to or even compare to any of the texts that I got, or I believe any of my other teammates got, for winning the Big Ten championship. As the Heisman's great, but the only reason I'm up for the Heisman is because we're 13-0 and we're Big Ten champs at the end of the day. So I would say that I did get a couple of texts. However, nothing comparing to when we beat Ohio State. It's been a huge challenge because with the pressure, it's a huge privilege to be a part of the pressure. However, when you see your name in the Heisman, you can see a lot of people maybe get complacent and go down and up in the rankings, or depending on how they play, or just team scenarios and team around them. And I've been lucky enough to have such a great team perform that I've always been in a good position to win games, and that's what's helped elevate me to this position that I'll be on Saturday night. However, it has been a huge challenge, and I think that I've really relied on. I met the performance coach, sports psychologist, and really leaning on him has been a huge part of this process. As now that you're here, stick on what got you here, the process, the never-ending preparation, and all the different aspects of really taking it one play at a time, not focused on the outside noise, and also the coaches harping on those different aspects. And I think with all that, it's really helped myself get in a good headspace where I'm not focused on whether I'm the front runner, whether I'm second, whether I'm 10th, whether I'm 50th in the race. It's really all about the main goal, which has then elevated me to this opportunity.
Far right, Fernando. Kind of a two-part question. First off, during the ceremony, obviously you met former winners. A lot of anybody there that you were really excited to meet or kind of left an impression? And then secondly, kind of what was the message from those former winners about what it means to represent that, not only on the field but off the field?
Yeah, in my speech, I made sure to include that I promised to carry the Heisman name with responsibility, honor, and humility, because I know how many people care about it, and I know what it stands for a lot of people. And hearing the stories from those guys and seeing how much that fraternity and how prestigious it is and how much it means to them has only made myself honor it and mean more to myself. Those guys have said that every single year it goes on, the trophy means more and more to them. So I look forward to that experience, as it means a lot to me now. So I can only imagine how much it's going to mean, 10 years down the road. As those guys said, it's only exponentially gone up. And there's so many guys that have been fantastic meeting that weekend. There's so many, just to name a few: Tim Brown, Doug Flutie, Tim Tebow, Crouch, Ty Detmer, Eddie George, all those guys and more. Gino Torretta and Danny Warfel, Coach Spurrier, all those guys. And I'm missing so many, but all those guys were fantastic. And it gave me a lot of advice, gave me a lot of good advice. Those guys are legends of the game, and to be rubbing shoulders with them is an honor and doesn't feel real.
We'll stay on your right with Sammy, and then go to Pete.
Fernando, the Heisman circus has kind of moved into the past for you now.
Yeah.
How do you turn the page mentally to look forward to the Rose Bowl? You do have 2 weeks to get ready for it, but like you said, you like to watch football and decompress that way. But how do you start getting ready a little bit earlier for the Rose Bowl?
Yeah, this weekend was a great weekend, great experience for my teammates and I. However, we understand that just like the Big Ten championship game, just like any of the other big games we play this season, this page is now folded, although I will be in the fraternity for the rest of my life, which I'm extremely honored to be. Our focus right now is winning the college football playoff. That's what would make this trophy so much sweeter. And I believe this trophy is a little bit of push of confidence on us, on the team, that we're making history for the first IU team in history to be 13-0 and also to bring home a Heisman Trophy to Bloomington. So I think this is pushing us forward, and now our team understands, and even the lift this morning, we understand that we need to be humble and hungry. Hey, it's congrats, all this stuff. Hey, let's go. We did it. We got the trophy. Now it's on to the real trophy, or the season's trophy, which is the national championship.
Say the meaning, it means so much to myself and my family, growing up in Miami, growing up a University of Miami fan, and basically whole identity being, a Cuban living in Miami whose grandparents, all four grandparents, immigrated from Cuba to Miami, made their way, had the American dream, and I've been so thankful to them and thankful to God that I've been able to have a good childhood, and them raising me by accomplishing the American dream. And I think it just means so much to my family as playing in Miami against the University of Miami, the journey, it's kind of like a full circle moment, but also it means a lot to a lot of my teammates and coaches and also everybody in Hoosier Nation, just because it's a national championship. And so I could selfishly say, oh, it means so much to me, but in reality, I do it for my teammates and my coaches, because the national championship, it's the big one, and I really do it for them.
Okay, we're going to go right here.
Now, when people look back at this miraculous season that you had, how do you want people to remember Fernando Mendoza?
Yeah, I would say that everyone's going to remember this game, and so it's my duty to Hoosier football and my teammates to put my focus and preparation into this game, because although it was great, we won the Heisman, we won the Rose and Peach Bowl, everyone's going to remember how it finished, and it's going to remember how the taste it left in everybody's mouth. So hopefully we leave with a good taste on Monday. Thanks.